On a gloomy, dark, rainy night on April 3rd, 1964, at midnight, at 49 Barrow Road in Streatham Common, London, England, a young law student from Middle Temple Law School was pacing nervously as he felt helpless as his wife grimaced and groaned in pain. She was having intense labor pain. He had called the ambulance, but the street leading to their home was blocked by a multiple vehicle accident. He could not wait any longer and took matters into his own hands. He wrapped a woolen blanket around his wife and rushed into the underground subway station. His wife screamed in pain during what seemed to be an endless subway ride to the hospital. Came out of the dark subway tunnel. He lifted her up and ran down the street to the hospital. When he arrived, the nurses put her onto the stretcher. That stretcher never made it to the operation room. I entered the world, fist clenched and screaming loudly, so my journey began. I always like to make a grand entrance. From the darkness, I came into the light. Perhaps that's why my parents named me Lakshmi, meaning the goddess of light. My father, Rupnarayan Sharma, later told me I was his good luck charm, as he graduated that same year as a barrister and solicitor, and was later awarded a gold medal for public speaking from the London Academy of Dramatic Arts. I inherited his gift for the gab. Lesson number 1. Don't rely on others. If my father had waited for the ambulance, I may not be here today. Fast forward now to April 1967. My father's law practice was flourishing. Dad became a Crown prosecutor in then what was called British Guyana. My dad decided to travel to Canada in 1967 to go to Expo 67 in Montreal. It was a world fair where my parents met the young and dynamic Pierre, Elliott, Trudeau. He convinced them to come to Canada as independent business immigrants. I arrived in Canada in spring 1970. I was a joyful, happy child who grew up with 4 other siblings. I was always a people person, and I loved to be surrounded by friends. At an early age, I realized I had a gift. I was an empath. I had psychic abilities, and I could feel energy and saw visions in my dreams that became reality. Anything that I dreamed about or concentrated of came into reality. I started using my manifestation gift and the law of attraction for the greater of things. As a teenager, I mastered the law of attraction and met Bollywood stars, rock stars, such as Rod Stewart, Phil Collins, Tina Turner, and my favorite, Michael Jackson. I continue to practice positive thinking and the law of attraction in my daily life to fulfill all my dreams. Lesson number 2. You are the master of your own destiny. Your thoughts manifest into reality. Think good thoughts. At the age of 16, I had my dream job with the provincial government of Canada, doing law research for 52 judges at the old City Hall. Later, after university, I married the man of my dreams and had 2 beautiful daughters. I landed a great job with the federal government of Canada in citizenship and immigration, where I worked for 25 years. I was awarded the Prime Minister's Long-Term Service Award. The gift of the gab led me to work with Chin Radio and later having my own talk shows on global television and City TV. I was also an actress on Slice television. Another powerful dream led me to start my own model and talent agency. I became a casting director for many films shot in Canada. Life was great. The money flowed. I sang my manifestation affirmation song daily. I'm a money magnet. I'm a money magnet. Money comes to me. I don't chase money. Then, bang, the unthinkable happened. On May 2006, I was in a taxi traveling on the highway 427 North at the Dixon exit. A heavily intoxicated driver in a tractor-trailer lost control of his vehicle. He swerved into the taxi. The taxi hit the guardrails, then spun around and was hit many times by oncoming traffic. I thought it would never end. The taxi was crushed. I was in excruciating pain. I can remember my last words were, "God help me." It was then I lost consciousness and was airlifted to Sunnybrook Hospital. As I laid in ICU, I heard the doctors talking about my injuries. Her lungs have collapsed. She has broken neck, broken ribs, C6, C7, head injuries, paralysis on her right side, internal stomach injuries. Call her family. She's not going to make it. It was at that time I remembered seeing a bright light enter my hospital room. The light started spiraling, and out of the light and the tunnel appeared my mother and grandmother. They both look young and beautiful. Both had passed, but they look younger than when I remembered them. They outstretched their hands and begged me to come to the light. I knew they wanted to take me with them, but I begged them not to take me. "I'm not ready to go. My girls need me. They need their mommy. Please don't take me. Please, please, God." Suddenly the light became blue and transformed into an orb. It came towards me and engulfed me in the sensation of a warm hug. I knew. At that time I felt the hand of God. He had given me a second chance at life. All the pain was immediately gone, and the paralysis in my body was back to normal. The doctors were amazed when I told them what I saw. The nurse in the room said she saw me staring at the wall, pleading, "No, no, no, don't take me." I remained in the hospital for weeks for my neck injuries. That experience, the major turning point in my life, literally, this was a U-turn, back from the gates of heaven, back to life, back to make a difference in others' lives. Lesson number 3, you're here for a reason. Seek your purpose. In life, it is said there are 2 most important days in your life. The first is the day you were born, and the second is the day you realize why you were born. So why did God give me a second chance? I believed in manifestation, and I was busy manifesting money. I had multiple jobs, multiple businesses. I came home exhausted, mentally drained each day. I was neglecting my husband, my teenage daughters, and myself. I made a decision then and there to manifest happiness in my life. What will bring me happiness? I asked myself. I then knew what would bring me happiness was to create a foundation of happiness at home, a home filled with love, laughter, peace, harmony. I then knew that if you wanted to change the world, start at home. I realized I could not buy happiness with money, so my mission began. What really made me happy was being with my family and having deep and meaningful conversations with the people that meant the most to me. I started living in the moment and no longer was sweating the small stuff. Also having some me time, time with nature, time to pray, time to connect with God, disconnect from the hustle and bustle, and find peace, tranquility, and happiness in the little things in life, which eventually become the big things. In 2001, I lost my loving mom, Danny Sharma, to cancer. This past January, I lost my hero, my father, to cancer. All my parents' lives, they worked so very hard, never took the time to enjoy the fruits of their labor. They planned to travel the world when they retired. That trip never happened. Don't put off your happiness for tomorrow. Be happy today. Surround yourself with good, positive people. Connect your heart and soul daily to your Maker. Manifest through daily affirmations your intention to bring peace and happiness into your life. Ask yourself, what is my life's purpose? The answer lies in this quote by John Holmes, who said, "There is no better exercise for the heart than reaching down and lifting others up." I decided to help people change their lives for the better by helping them to immigrate to Canada, the best country in the world. Being an immigration consultant gave me the opportunity to serve others. It gave me the blessing to change the lives of thousands of people in a positive way. Lesson number 4, every chance you get to make others happy, just do it. The joy it brings you will be so emotionally rewarding. I close with a small quote from the Desiderata. Be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the stars and the trees. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you perceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in this noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful, strive to be happy, so always remember the screaming baby who emerged from the dark subway tunnel and the pleading mother who made a U-turn from heaven. I return to manifest a beautiful life by making others happy. Lesson number 5, we're all here for a reason. We're all here to serve. We are all here to shine. Never underestimate your power. You are a spark of God's light in human form. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. God bless.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here tonight. I don't know if I should start off dancing Bhangra to this music here. I think we should all get up and screw the light bulb. Okay, everybody get their hand in the air. 1, 2, 3, hey, 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 hey. We might as well. But all jokes aside, this is a very beautiful evening for us, and I'm sharing with you a very, very interesting story about my life. As you can see on the screen there, I'm talking about my life in how it all started. This was in London, England in 1964 at approximately 1 a.m. in the morning in Streatham Common. My father and mother were just very young. My father was, as Jacqueline mentioned, a legend in Toronto. And he graduated from London, England as a lawyer in 1964. How I entered the world was a very interesting story. I actually came by subway, okay? So my mom and dad had called the ambulance to come and pick her up. She was in labor pains, and there was an accident blocking all the streets. So my mother was lifted by my father into the subway and I came screaming into the world just as I came off the subway, just made it to the hospital, and ta-da, I was born. So I like to make a grand entrance, as usual, and I did. Up there, 1967 Expo. Later on, fast forward, my father met the young and handsome Pierre Elliott Trudeau in 1967. Look how handsome he was. And I was just a little girl when I came to Canada. And Pierre Elliott Trudeau said to my father, he was a lawyer in Guyana after he left England, he said, come to Canada. You'll never regret it. It will be the best move you've ever made in your life. And my father listened to the young Pierre Elliott Trudeau and brought his wife and 5 children to Canada to start a new life as a young lawyer in Canada. I was 5 years old. Our visa got approved. When we came to Canada, his law degree from England was not recognized. So my 56-year-old father had to go back to law school in Windsor to study law, and he did it. He did it. My mom raised 5 children on her own. My dad went back to law school in Windsor, and I have to say my life was blessed because I had 2 very powerful parents. Every single day of my life, they infused me with positivity. My mother told me the best job you can do in your life is to serve. I married the man of my dreams, Mr. Ray Singh. There you are. I had a beautiful family, 2 beautiful daughters. Everything was going great. My parents always told me, serve. If you serve the public and you serve people, you will always be happy, and I took that advice. I started my own radio channel on Shin Radio. Then I started 2 television shows on City TV and Global Television. I had my own talk show, I had 2 TV shows, I had my job with the government. Everything was going great. So I used to sing. I was also a casting director for Hollywood and Bollywood films. The money was flowing, the money was flowing. I used to tell my children, everything that you imagine, you achieve. So I'd sing this song, I'm a money magnet, I'm a money magnet. Money comes to me, I don't chase money. And so said, so done. I manifested a lot of money in my life. I was making thousands. All of a sudden, bang, that tractor trailer hit the government taxi I was driving. I wasn't driving, taxi driver was driving. But that tractor trailer, when it hit the taxi, I was paralyzed. My neck broke. I had my lungs collapsed. I had broken bones. My C6, my C7 were broken, and I was airlifted to the hospital. When I was in the hospital, I was in a subconscious state, but I could hear the doctors talking. And what they were saying is that she's not going to live. She has less than 24 hours. Call her family. Call them right away. My husband got the call, my daughters got the call, and they rushed to the hospital. But at that time, when I was in the hospital bed, this spiraling light came towards me. And out of the light, with outstretched arms, came the 2 people who I loved the most in my life. My mother and my grandmother, who had passed away. My mother raised me as a young child. And I realized that that white spiraling light that was coming towards me was God. And I realized I had young children, and I started to plead with God. Please, God, don't take me, don't take me. Maybe I've done something wrong. Forgive me, let me live. And the bright white line became a blue orb. And the blue orb came towards me and flooded my body with warmth. And ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you, I can attest to you that that was God. I felt Him, I knew it was Him, and He gave me a second chance at life. And I knew why He gave me a second chance at life. From that day onward, May 2006, when He gave me a second chance at life, I decided to live my life differently. No longer did I think about money. I started thinking about my beautiful family, my husband, my 2 little daughters, balancing my life. What is my purpose? Why did God give me a second chance to stay? Why? Then I remembered the words of my parents. Serve. Serve the public. No more late nights, no more working hard, no more manifesting money. My life purpose changed to serving people. So I approached my husband and I said, let's start. We were both federal government officers for 25 years. Let's concentrate on our beautiful family. And what we started to do that. My father, who was my inspiration, told me, serve in the way of immigration like I did. Help people for their new path in their life. Give back to the community, give back to the people every single day from that day onward. Every step that I took in my life was to serve. And since that day, we have helped thousands of people to come to Canada now, to start their lives. My husband and I were just awarded Immigration Consultants of the Year award by the Polish Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Meghie, for helping people. We're concentrating on our family. My youngest daughter is soon to be married. I have my beautiful granddaughter, Leela, my first grandchild. Where's Leela? There she is. So my purpose in life has totally changed. No longer thinking about just manifesting money. There's no better exercise for the heart than reaching down and helping others. So by helping others start a new life in Canada, and by serving on different boards and helping, and every single day people say to me, where do you get the energy from? Right there. I get my energy from above. I get my energy to serve, and I want to tell you there's no greater feeling in the world than to serve. Every chance you get to make others happy, just do it. The joy it brings to you will be so emotionally rewarding. My husband and I have done shows now for cancer patients, for United Way. We keep we keep encouraging young talent by funding them. We're funding all these different shows with young people, and that makes us feel good, and it gives us a better purpose in life. I also want to tell you that there's no greater feeling in the world than having balance in your life. Whatever you feel is imbalanced, balance it. Anybody in your life that you're not speaking to, pick up the phone and make that call. Pick up the phone and make that call to that person. It could be your mother or your father or somebody, your brother or your sister you haven't spoken to. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it, because in a split second, you could be the one on the stretcher dying. I forgot to tell you that when that blue light touched me, the paralysis in the right side of my body was gone. I couldn't move the right side. My broken neck, they were putting it in a frame, and everything was absolutely healed to the point that I felt like a new woman. So I thank God, and I thank the superior being who is above that gave me that second chance in life. And I want to tell you that my father had named me Mala Lakshmi Nivedita Sharma. Lakshmi means light, and he always said, be a light in people's life. Go around and help them. And I will serve in my parents' name. I will serve in my Heavenly Father's name. And I'm so proud and so honored that Jacqueline Dixon has given me this honor today, and to speak in front of such beautiful and such esteemed people as Margaret Trudeau and Jean Augustine. It's my honor. And I'm telling you, Jacqueline Dixon deserves to be in a very high position in government. And if we can vote for Jacqueline, let's do it. Let's do it. Jacqueline Dixon for Prime Minister? Okay, so on that note, I'd like to close and thank you for this opportunity from the bottom of my heart. And I want to sing a little song for you. Is that okay? I saw